project. So I think a couple of you guys might have been wondering what the heck this fan was, because this is not a stock thing. It's just sitting there right now. Well, my buddy gave this to me in an attempt to help cool this thing, because I don't know if you guys know, but 400EXs are oil cooled and air cooled. Basically, they are only cooled with an oil radiator. So that oil radiator right there is the only thing that really cools the bike, and then just air movement past the motor. There's no water jacket around anything. It's not water cooled. It gets really hot. And solution I thought of, well, my buddy thought of, was putting this fan, which goes on a radiator for some vehicle. I can't remember what he said. He just had it laying around. And I've thought about attempting to put it on this front part. I've seen a lot of videos and pictures and forums of how-tos of putting a extra oil cooler, or basically another radiator, on top of the front right there, and it helps cool the oil. Well, I don't want to spend any more money than I have to, so he gave me this thing, and I'm going to attempt to basically mount it up here. What I'm thinking of doing is buying an L bracket, attaching it under, right here next to this, so it goes out and up, and then buying a flat piece of like aluminum bar, the cheapest stuff I can find, and then just running some bolts through the bar to attach the fan on the top, and then running zip ties through the bottom just to hold it so it don't bounce around down the bottom down here. And then wiring wise, I've looked up some stuff, and I think what I'm going to do is attach it to the brown power wire for the headlights. So anytime I turn the headlights on, the fan turns on, which may or may not be wise. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I'm going to look more into that. I may just add a switch up top next to the neutral and key. Maybe put a little switch right here. That way I have the ability to turn it on and off whenever I need to, and not have to worry about if my lights are on and off. But just an update. The next little step in this project, I still need to order a tie rod. Probably just going to order a whole new set. And then my handlebars, I noticed the other day when I was riding, are a little bent. So I'm going to have to get a new handlebar set, and I really want some new grips, because these things absolutely suck. I did finish this little stitching I did over here, which it looks alright, but stops that thing from, this piece of plastic from flapping around, so that should work out pretty well. But just update you guys, I did my other oil change on it, and the gasket, the RTV gasket I made, is holding up pretty well. Don't have any oil leaks. That's old oil sitting there, but don't have any oil leaks anywhere, which is good. Alright, it's a nice day outside. So I have a really hard time remembering to record. I went ahead, and when I was at work, I got a couple things that I thought might work for this fan. So I bought this L bracket here, 4-inch L bracket, and I've already, as you can see, chopped off some of the parts of it right here. It wasn't very even, didn't do a very good job, but I think it's gonna work. If I set my fan up here where I want it, the L brackets are connected to these other L brackets that connect to the plastics, and I just literally unscrewed this little thing and put them back on there, and it worked pretty good. I wasn't thinking when I bought this. I bought an 8-inch mending, what is this called? 8-inch mending plate. I should have got the 12-inch one. I was thinking it only needed to be the same length as this, but it definitely needs to be a lot bigger, because I need it to go out. So I need it to go from here to there. And basically that's all I'm going to do is get a 12-inch mending plate, drill a couple holes through it. Got some nuts and bolts and lock washers that I'm going to put through here into the mending plate on the back. See if I can show you guys. So basically, it's going to be like that, except not this far out. You know, it'll be in. The 12-inch plate will be like that. But it'll mount the fan to the actual frame. And this way, it'll fit with the plastics. This is a low enough height that it'll fit with the plastics. Because these were 4 inches up, and them being 4 inches up was not going to fit. I set the plastics up there to see if it would, and I'll do it again. Okay, so... well, I guess the plastics won't fit. Well, that's a bummer. I thought they were going to be able to fit. And it looks like I need to take like another 1/2 inch off of that. I don't know if the fan will even fit then. Which that... see, the fan fits in here no problem. And I planned on leaning it back until it hits the bracket. But the bracket, I guess, is too tall. I wonder if I could... oh my goodness. Did I just break that? Hopefully not. Alright, let me see what I did. So I figured out that those bolts were too short. So I pulled this screw that I used in a different spot that I was missing a bolt. Put this screw here and it fit perfectly. Then I used this bolt that I used from a previous something. I can't remember what I got this from, but it was an extra bolt, and I put it here, and it actually fits wonderfully. So I'm going to leave this here, and then I put the other bolts in place of where those were, and they fit decently. I will have to shorten these down some. Not sure how far or how much I'm going to have to go, but they will have to be shortened. So I'll have to get the grinder out and grind probably like 1/2 inch or like 1/4 inch off each one and see if that works. But we'll see. It works a little better this way. Has a bunch of grip, so. Okay, so I think I have an idea with this 8-inch mending bracket that's going to work. Instead of using a full bracket across, which would, I mean, it would make it a lot more sturdy. And honestly, it's probably the best route to go. But I don't want to spend more money and then have to return this mending bracket. So I'm thinking of just cutting this bracket in half and having half of it stick out, because I measured it already. It would fit. So half there and then this half here. Like that in that hole. And then I can chop down up into the point of the hole. So literally make a mark right there. And then I can just angle this up and drill a hole where I need to. That would save me... I could put the... it would make it so I would be able to put the plastics on no problem. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Alright, I think I got it. It's going to be kind of hard to see because it's dark out. But I think once the video plays, you'll be able to see. I basically made the bracket and test fit the plastic on. It's all bolted down. Well, not completely tightened. But I'm going to do a little trimming on this top part. But you can see it's connected to the top. I'm just going to zip tie these two bottom pieces to the frame over here so it doesn't move that way. I may leave it though. That way it has a little wiggle room to move around. Because you don't want everything to be super stiff. I don't know how much that'll affect anything. But I'm going to trim some of the metal at the top with my grinder because it's hitting up there. And then we should, I mean, it's on there. I can tighten everything and see how it works from there. Just need to wire it up now. I'll take the plastic back off and take a picture of it or take some footage of it. Oh, so my plastic re-cracked over here. I was afraid that was going to happen because it was too tight. See if I loosen it, the plastic can go back up. I'm going to have to do a zip tie fix there. That might work. Not sure. That crack was already there, so it's not something new. So if you can see, this is how I mounted it. Just took an L bracket up, trimmed it, took that 8-inch mending bar thing, cut it in half. I need to trim that. I may mark that like that and trim it down. Maybe something like that. And then it just attaches to the fan. And it's on there pretty good. Just need to really clean it up some. And then it should be good. May have to... I had to put these bars on the bottom of this, which is not how it's supposed to go. Whenever I put them on the top, it raises them up way too much. And when it raises it up, it hits the plastic up here, hitting that plastic, and it won't fit. So I put them on the bottom, but you can see it's not aligning correctly because there's a little knob right here, a dimple that sets into the frame that makes it the way it is. So I may have to do some adjusting, but at least it's kind of modified to be in. I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for the night. I'm drenched in sweat. It's probably still like 90 degrees outside even though it's dark out. So, good night. Another day working on this fan install. Right now I'm going to go ahead and take the fan off and then chop these off, those corners, because I don't need them. And I'm thinking I'm going to try to maybe round off these edges here. Maybe make it a little less prone to getting hit by that thing, by the plastic. So let's go from there. Alright, so I chopped off this part and this part as best I could. It's kind of still sharp over here. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I chopped off these corners too a little on this side too. I may take my angle grinder and kind of hit right here in these corners just to kind of soften them a little while this is on here. That way I know where it's at. But it should be pretty sturdy. I got the wiring and the switch to do for it. Now I just need to make sure the plastics still fit with everything on after I grind a little bit on here and see how it goes. Finally got it to where the plastics can fit. I had to drill a third hole back, so it's a lot shorter than I anticipated it being. So this actually, I snapped this bolt, so I'm going to have to get another one, which sucks, but at least it fits. The plastics fit good and everything works with this on. So now it's time to try and wire this thing. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to run a power wire from the positive side of the terminal, following the wiring harness all the way up to here. Probably run it right through here, and then I'll split it off and have an attachment where this will plug into the attachment, and then the other side, actually, it has to go into the positive side of that. I forgot about that. And then it has to come out of that because I'm going to put a switch over there. And then from there, the negative side of this can go straight to the negative, which is fine. I mean, it can go straight to ground, which I'll probably ground it right to one of these bolts right here on the starter solenoid, or whatever this is, the ignition coils. I'll probably just connect them to that. It's now like an hour later. I ran a red wire all the way to the battery, over here, sorry, and then took a negative wire to this starter ignition thing, ran them both along here. I need to tape this one, and then each of them have male and female heads, and then from there I just plug them into the red and black of this, connected to the fan, and then which connects to the switch up there. So I'll get it all back together and show you guys flipping it on and off. Okay, there it is. Nothing's all back, together on. But if you're sitting on the quad, you'll see that. Basically, turn the key, the neutral light. Here comes the fan. Ready? Blows a lot. So we'll see how it works as I'm riding. This is the fan installed. What it looks like from the front. Kind of looks cool.